We're now going to use the Tria set again. We're going to use the Iris this time, but we're going to do it with the Charisma. But what you've got is, for each one of these, let me see if I can find all the pieces. There we go. For each flower, you've got the outside die and the inside die. So if you want to use the Charisma, it will fit perfectly with the outside die over the top. Now you can then cut it again with the outside and the inside one, put it like that, and then mat them on top of each other. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to do them with a white matte layer. But we're going to do that in a minute. But first I want to show you how I would put this card together. So I've got a piece of white card. Now when we did this collection, we had some amazing embossing folders. Let's move all this out of the way. And this is the Crackle. Oh, it's a bit, I must have got some ink on there. Let's try and get rid of that a little bit. I've still got some ink left from the last time I did it. Right, we should have cleaned that off. That's what happens when I finish my shows quickly and we go on to the next one. Right, let's clear that off. If we get a bit on, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to pop my cardstock into there and then run that through my die cutting machine. So remember, when we do embossing, we use a 3mm as you would with your magnetic. Then we have our embossing folder with our cardstock, and then we just use 3mm on the top. So we're going to put that on with the Crackle, which is an absolutely gorgeous design. But then we've also got the Coal. So when you've got this collection, you also got your nested vases. So I have cut out a set of the nested vases. So I've cut 2 out of the cardstock, and so they are slightly smaller. They're nested, as the name suggests. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss the top one. So let's get the folder, make sure I've got it the right way around, and I'm going to find a really nice, heavy embossed area. Yep, like that. And we're going to run that one through so we can have a look at that one. Oops. Perfect. While this one runs through. There we go. Oh, got a piece on there. So look at this with the Crackle. Isn't that amazing? I think that side looks like animal print, and that side is like your Crackle. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that look even better. We're going to put a little bit of ink. I've got a couple of different colours of purple ink. And then we're going to just pick those up with our blending tool, and we're going to go round the edge of the cardstock. So I'm going round with the darkest one first. I'll just keep putting a bit more on, I think. Let's get plenty of ink there. This must be, I've had these ink pads ages, and maybe starting to get a little bit drier. So blend that round all the way around the outside with the darkest one, picking up that colour. And then I'm going to pick up the lighter one, and I'm just going to work it in a little bit further in. Can you see, just going a little bit further towards the centre? I think I need a bit more of the darker one in a couple of places. I need a bit more darker one here, don't I? There, that's better. Just there we go. Pick up a little bit more of the lighter one, and can you see it almost fades away to nothing? There we go. And look at how it makes that emboss pop. Now these are full A4 embossing folders. I've just embossed the piece that I need, but you've got such a large area that you can emboss, and that now looks beautiful on my card front. So we've also done some more embossing, but this time, as we said, with those nested frames. And that, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Brilliant reverse. And then you've got that on that side. So this is the one that we call Coal. So we don't need the second 3mm. Let's put that out of the way. So let's just pop this onto the card base, and then we can start concentrating on the flowers. So this is absolutely beautiful. So pop the purple. So this is the cardstock that you get with this collection. You can see it's slightly variegated. I think that might be a good word for it. Slightly mottled. So then I'm going to come in with some glue. Obviously I couldn't put tape on before I'd embossed it, otherwise it would just emboss the tape into the card and I'd never peel the back off. Now remember, when you do emboss, I know I say this all the time, but when you want to emboss, make sure you die cut first, which is why I'd cut the shapes of the vases out in advance, because you must die cut before you emboss. Because if I'd embossed into a piece of card and then die cut, all it would have done is flatten that. So nice bit of wet, just flat glue, wet glue onto there. That's going to go on like that. Now, doesn't that look effective? Really, really pretty, like a lovely vase. Now, I've put a little bit of foam tape behind here, and that's going on just there. Put that to the side. Now, as I said, you can use the dies in various different ways, as I was saying. So you can use the outside die to cut just the outside detail, and that will give you this. Now, if you use the outside and the inside, you get this sort of effect of the detail. So then you can pop one on top of the other, just like that. I love that effect. Now, what you can also do is you could cut the charisma again instead of the white, and then that will give you another look. Or you could get the stamps, you could stamp over the top, or you could get the embossing folder or emboss over the top. There are so many ways to use these. So I've got a few different ones here. I've got a little bit of foliage that you're going to get with this collection. So I think this was called Ivy, I think it was. And so I can pop that onto here. There we go. That's going to go onto the front of my vase. I'm just going to have that trailing down the front. Then I have got, I'm going to use this one. So just this one. So you can see I've cut the white a few times and stuck them together because I like that depth, that almost chipboard look. Gives you a really nice, it's a bit of a different look for your projects. And that one's going to go just on there. So then once we've done that, get that lined up, let me line that up a little bit better. I'm going to do it onto the table. There we go. That's going to go in there, all the way around. And that's going to go, we're going to start to build our arrangement. Oops, I've knocked that off. So we can put first piece of iris. If we wanted to, we could also put the lilac in. I think that's going to look better that way. And then, now, do I want that one or do I just want, no, it's not big enough. So I'm not liking that. That's going to go in there. Now, do I want this one? Is that going to look better? Yes, that looks better, doesn't it? And then we've got a small piece of lilac that I can have popping out of the side there. I've got a small iris that I can pop just there. And then I've got this flower, and I like to put that there because it then covers up everything. Now look at that for a beautiful arrangement. But you also get some butterflies with this collection. So I've cut the charisma once, and then I've just stuck the detailed layer like that. So the final thing you need is a sentiment. And how about that? I think that is so pretty, and it's so tactile. You've got all the embossed, I've got all the raised edges, so pretty, and what lovely colours.